Hi. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hello. Good afternoon. How are you all doing? Good afternoon. Hi. How y'all doing today? Good afternoon. Let me know if y'all can hear me. I want to make sure y'all can hear me. So if somebody can comment and let me know if you can hear me. I always like to check my audio before I start running my mouth. So let me know. Yes, thank you. How's everybody doing this morning? I just got off a call. I had taken a call and I said, every time something pops in my head and as I'm going deep with people on the phone, and then I say, I need to do a video about this. Hi. Hi, Addie. So every time I get on the phone with people and I'm answering questions and we're just covering a couple of things, and it always pops in my head, I'm like, I need to do a video on this. So I'm not officially doing a video, but I said, let me go live, because if some of you or people so definitely share the video with what I'm going to talk about, know someone who may be going through this, you definitely want to share the information with them. So here's what I'm beginning to realize that a lot of companies are doing. Okay, so the person I was on the phone with kept saying, I'm a 1099 employee. I'm a 1099 employee, and I had to correct the person and say, no, hold up. You're not a 1099 employee. Okay, so what a lot of companies are doing now, some of them I think are giving you the option to be a 1099 or to be a W-2. And some of them, I think they're giving you the option, or some of them are just transitioning people to a 1099 instead of a W-2, okay? And then without you knowing, if you don't know any better, you're going around saying, I'm a 1099 employee. That's not an employee. When you're a 1099, you're technically an independent contractor. And let me tell you what that means. Independent contractor means you're by default a sole proprietor, which by default is a small business owner. So it literally runs across the board. 1099 employee means independent contractor, means sole proprietorship, means small business owner, which means you're then entitled to deductions. Okay? So the first thing I want to say is that when companies do this, see, they're not going to educate you. They're not going to tell you that you're no longer an employee. They tell you that they're transitioning you. And I've had so many people this tax season, and Carrie, I'm still filing taxes. So I've had so many people fall into this situation who are now 1099s. And when I keep hearing the term, I'm a 1099 employee, I'm like, no. But the company isn't going to tell you that. They're not going to let you know, hey, you're not a 1099 anymore, because let me tell you what happens. When you become a 1099, you're now servicing them. They're now your client. You're not their employee, and they lose so much control, okay? They lose a lot of control. See, when you're a W-2 employee, they get to tell you what time you got to be in, what days you got to work, all of this type of stuff. But when you're a 1099, that's no longer the case. They don't have a right to say that. In fact, as a 1099 independent contractor, you really should have a independent contract in place, okay, establishing your role with them, that you're not an employee, that you're responsible for your own taxes. A lot of people get into that situation and don't even understand what that means. They don't even know or realize that the taxes that used to come out of their paycheck, that doesn't happen anymore, okay? They don't withhold taxes out of a 1099 because you're responsible for your own taxes, okay? So now you have to send your own taxes into the IRS, to your state, if you're a taxable state. Okay, but they don't even explain all this. So first of all, you're supposed to fill out a W-9 instead of a W-4. Okay, as a 1099 person, you fill out a W-9. Secondly, there should be a contract in place establishing your role with them. Okay, and they're no longer withholding taxes. You have the right to control your hours. Okay, you have rights. And if the Department of Labor finds out, this actually happened with Uber, and don't mind me, I don't have my reading glasses on, so I'm gonna try to. Who creates the contract when you are a 1099 contractor? You can. They can, but you can also come to them. You can also say, I want a contract. See, they know that a lot of people don't know their rights, and that's why I'm going to even officially do a video at another time. I'll probably even do a course, because I realize there's lots of questions about how this all works, but they know you don't know your rights, so they're not even going to bring it up. Okay, you have the right to say, but some people are afraid to speak up and say, well, I want a contract. Because they're afraid that then they're going to be let go or whatever the case may be. So that, that's up to you, but you have leverage. Once you're a 1099 person, you have a lot of leverage. Okay, they're doing this, especially, I get a lot of this situation from an industry, with nurses, okay, when they become like a nurse anesthesiologist or whatever. And so many other industries. But what I'm saying is, they try to get over. They don't tell you that you're no longer an employee. They just tell you they're transitioning you to a 1099. And let me tell you why a lot of them are doing that. A lot of them are doing that, first of all, because they're saving money as an employer. See, when they're employing you as a W-2, they have to put in for your Social Security tax, well, a percentage, because you and the employer both pay into your Social Security. You and the employer both pay into your Medicare. Okay, but once they transition you to a 1099, they no longer have to do that. Okay, and so they save money. All right, and so yeah, they're not going to let you know that you have leverage. Let me tell you, I even one of my clients who's a tutor, okay, that client is in the education field, and when, thank God that the client was one of my clients, because I educated them to let them know, once the employer came to them with this situation, we want to pay you as a 1099. I said, hold up. Okay, form an LLC. You're going to go all in. Form an LLC, get you an EIN. Don't just let them now, because you also have the option to do that as well. You don't have to be paid under your Social Security number. Once they do you as a 1099, you can now set up an LLC. You can get an EIN. They can pay your EIN directly, and that opens up so many more opportunities in terms of tax advantages, in terms of building business credit for yourself. Okay, if you didn't notice, recently I just dropped a starter kit, a beginning business starter kit, something like that. But if you go to link in my bio, you'll see it. Okay, and you should definitely grab that. And a lot of people are beginning to wisen up and realize that you can do so much more separate from your personal credit when you have business credit. Okay, you can even put cars in your business name. You can own houses in your business name. You can own property if you want to get into rental property. There's so many more things you can do in your business and your business credit instead of your personal. Okay, even when all of that money was coming out for EIDL and PPP, when everything was going on with our situation, or our situation from 2020 and 2021, remember, they was giving out all of that money to business owners. Let me see what you said. Okay, thank you. I didn't know that. Yes, absolutely. Okay. So you want to establish yourself. If you're going to be a 1099, might as well go all in, and it's actually a better opportunity. I mean, I'm a little biased. I've employed myself through my business for 17 years. So I am a little biased, but what I try to educate people on is that, yes, I get it. The paycheck is consistent money, but if you have your business, if you're your business has the potential to become something that's bringing you consistent money as well. Okay, this is 17 years in. Okay, so I'm speaking from experience. Okay, I also do business coaching now to help people who want to grow their business and who want to start or grow their business. Okay, so it's possible. You know, it's definitely possible. I literally quit my job, my last job in 2005 over the phone because it was tax season and I kept calling out. And my boss literally gave me an ultimatum and told me that I could not do it. I could not do like burn to both ends because she needed me at work. I had already built my business so far up, I wasn't going to turn back. So I bet on myself. And I went all in. You know, this is 17 years later, and it wasn't always easy. I'm not ashamed to say that I used to be on food stamps. I'm not ashamed to say that I used to be on food stamps. Okay, it was rough. Okay, and you know, so it's possible to come out of situations that once were. You know, where you start is not where you're always going to end up. So I went all in, and yes, I went through rough times, raising 2 young daughters at the time. Okay, single mom. Yes, their dad was in their life, but you know, still at the same time, you're still a single mom. So I'm just speaking now. I don't want to get off track with the 1099 situation, but I'm just trying to speak to someone who may need to hear this to know what's possible. Okay, what's possible for your life. But yes, if you are a 1099 person, you have a lot of leverage there. Okay, if you want to get some personal one-on-one questions answered by me, you can book me for a consultation. Okay, all the links are in my bio in terms of booking me for a consultation, enrolling in my business coaching. Okay, if you want some of my courses, they're all there. And one of my most recent products that I dropped was Building Business Credit Starter Kit. Okay, so I wanted to get on here and say that because I was just so frustrated when I got off the phone and this person was speaking about, you know, they kept referring to themselves as a 1099 employee, and they didn't even understand that you're not even an employee anymore. No, stop calling yourself a 1099 employee. You're not an employee anymore, okay? You are an independent contractor, and you have so much leverage with that. You are entitled to so many deductions, and that's what made me start that, and I got off track. But that's what made me start that. See, when you're a W-2 employee, you don't get to write off anything, okay? You're traveling, you're going out to eat, you're doing all types of things. You're renting, you're owning your home, whatever. There's so many things in that space. You're paying your cell phone. You're spending this money anyway. But as a W-2 employee, you can't write off any of it. Okay. In fact, in August, I have so much going on. Sometimes I forget. But in August, on August 4th, I'm actually doing a tax strategy workshop. That's also the link in the bio if you want to sign up for that, because I'm really going to dive really deep with strategies that I use, saving my clients, who I have all over the United States, saving them thousands and thousands of dollars. Okay, so I'm going to be really going deep on that, and I'm going to actually turn that into a course. But if you want to participate in the live session, that's going to be August 4th. You can see the link in my bio for more information. So yes, do not let them just convert you to a 1099 and don't tell you anything. Okay, there's so much your employer doesn't tell you. I literally had another situation with a client who, when we did their taxes, then they realized they owed the state. Okay, well, not the state. They owed taxes it was for the city, because where this client lived, they had federal, state, and they had city. So they had explained to me that the company got bought out, and so all the employees had to fill out new W-2s and all of this kind of stuff. But they had never paid attention and realized that there were no local taxes coming out of the paycheck. So when it was time to file, and then they realized they like, what happened? And when I looked further into it, I said, well, there were no local taxes that came out. Where you live, you're responsible for local taxes. And they were like, well, my employer didn't tell me that. The employer is not going to tell you that. Like, the employer, you got to remember, the employer is not your tax professional. The employer is not your accountant. They're not there to give you tax advice, tax guidance. that's just not what they're there to do. You work for them. When you're a W-2 employee, you work for them. So you have to, work with professionals or do your research and find out. Some people don't even know. You don't know what you don't know, right? But as a result, well, here's my thing, right? You either gonna pay to learn it or pay by not knowing it. Okay? You're gonna pay to learn it or pay by not knowing it. So pick your poison. So, unfortunately, that's what happened. And that happens a lot of times. The employer is not enlightening you. But again, they're not supposed to. They're not required to. Year to year, you should even want to fill out a new W-4. If you're an employee, you should even want to do a new W-4 at the beginning of each year, or sometimes throughout the year, because circumstances change. You might have a baby, which is going to be an extra dependent. Your adult child may grow up, move out, whatever, that they no longer live with you. You may become divorced. You might get married. There's so many things that are considered taxable events that could require you to change your information on your W-4. Okay? So, you gotta, and you can't stay on top of everything, right? You can't stay on top of everything. So that's usually why it's good to have a go-to person that you can ask questions to throughout the year as certain things are happening. Okay, so that you don't come out here and be caught, I guess they say, with your pants down. Okay, so I hope this helped someone today. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for joining. I will save this. I usually reshare it as something. I know I'm going to definitely put it on my YouTube and on my other social media, but I wanted to come on here live because I had just got off that call with the person, and after all of these months of hearing so many people that I had to individually correct and let them know, stop, you're not an employee. Stop calling yourself a 1099 employee and putting them up on game. Okay, that's how I talk. Putting them up on game, letting them know you're not an employee, and let me let you know how it goes. Once I enlighten them on that, but today it was the last straw. I was like, listen, I gotta get this word out to the masses. So share this with your friends, let them know, put them up on game. Okay, so many people don't even know, they don't even understand, okay, how much leverage you have as a 1099 person. And the same things that the jobs give you, you can get on your own. As a 1099 person, you can set up your own retirement account and contribute to it. Okay, as a 1099 person, when you work at a traditional job and you're a W-4, they're withholding money for your health care anyway. You can do that as a 1099 person. You can pay for your own health care. It's all tax deductible, because that's the part, right, where they get you. As a W-2 employee, they're withholding these things and you can't even write it off. So, but as a 1099 person, you could pay for it yourself and deduct it. Okay, and if you have kids, wow, that I'd be on here all day talking to you about all the benefits you can get by hiring your kids, even as a 1099 person. Yes, okay. As a matter of fact, if you go to the link in my bio, go to my YouTube channel, I have a whole video where I educate you all about how to hire your kids. Okay, we spend money on our kids anyway, but it's all about doing it smart. We spend money on our kids anyway, so hire the kids, let them do certain things for you. And even as a 1099 employee, maybe they can be your assistant, especially if you're working remote. But even if you're not remote, there's other things that they could be doing. It's just about figuring out certain things they could do. As long as they're over like age 8 or something like that, you can hire your kids and let them use their money to buy their clothes, buy their toys, or pay for their extracurricular activities. You were going to give them that money anyway, but do it smarter. Okay, you can even set up retirement accounts for your kids. Yes, all of this is possible. So I thank you all for watching. I hope this helped somebody today. Share, because maybe one of the people you know are working as a 1099 person and maybe they forgot to tell you. Okay, or if you happen to know that they are, share this with them and let them know, did you know about this? Okay, you're not an employee as a 1099 person. You are an independent worker / sole proprietor / small business owner. Okay, and if you don't even want to get an LLC, you can get an EIN for you under your own name. Yes, you can do that. Okay, you don't have to be an LLC to get an EIN. All right, and I hope you all have a business bank account. So, but I ran my mouth enough today. I wanted to just get on here because I had just got off with this person, and actually I'm headed to my fitness walk. Okay, so all of you enjoy your day, and I hope this was helpful, and thank you for watching.